Hello friends, welcome to my lecture on uniform convergence of series of complex functions. So, let us consider a series of complex functions sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f n z. We shall say that this series converges uniformly to a function f z in a region R, which may be open or closed of the z plane if for a given epsilon greater than 0 we can find an integer n naught depending only on epsilon such that mod of s n z minus f z is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n naught and for every z belonging to R. Hence, if the series converges uniformly in R, then everywhere in R we can approximate the sum f z of the series by an error less than epsilon by taking only n naught terms of the series. It is possible that for some points in R even a lesser number of terms may suffice, but nowhere in R we shall need more than n naught terms. It is clear that every uniformly convergent series is convergent, but the converse is not true, as we shall see later. If a series of complex functions converges uniformly in a region R of the z plane and phi z is any function which is bounded in R by which the terms of the series are multiplied, then the resulting series also converge uniformly. This is very simple. Suppose phi z is a bounded function in R, then there exists a constant m greater than 0 such that mod of phi z is less than or equal to m for all z belonging to R. Okay. Now, the series converges uniformly in R. So, by the definition of uniform convergence, mod of s n z minus f z is less than epsilon. So, mod of s n z minus f z is less than let us say epsilon by m. Okay. We can take epsilon to be epsilon by m here. So, mod of s n z minus f z is less than epsilon by m for all n greater than or equal to n naught and for every z belonging to R. Then what we do? Then we consider sigma n equal to 1 to infinity phi z into f n z series. Okay. So, now s n z will be sum of first n terms of this series. So, it will be phi z times s n z and f z will be phi z into f z. Okay. So, mod of this will be equal to mod of phi z into mod of s n z minus f z, okay, which is less than or equal to m times epsilon by m, okay, for all n greater than or equal to n naught and for all z belonging to R, which is equal to epsilon. So, if the terms of the series are multiplied by a bounded function phi z, okay, then even then the series converges uniformly. So, the sum of a uniformly convergent series of continuous functions of a complex variable in a region R is a continuous function in R. This theorem can be used as a test for uniform convergence. If the sum function of a series of continuous functions is discontinuous, then we can say that the series does not converge uniformly in R. The integral of the sum of a uniformly convergent series of continuous functions along any curve lying entirely in the region of uniform convergence can be found by term integration. The series can be integrated term by term along any curve which lies in the region of uniform convergence. Now, the sum function of a uniformly convergent series of functions analytic in the region of uniform convergence is also analytic. So, we are going to prove this. Let z not be any point in the region R of the uniform convergence of the series. Since each function is analytic in R, it is analytic in some neighborhood of z naught. Let C be any simple closed curve contained in this neighborhood. So, let us say take any region R. Suppose this is your region R, z naught is any point here. Okay. Take a neighborhood of z naught. Let C be any simple closed curve contained in this neighborhood. So, we can take a neighborhood like this. okay, and this is your curve C. Okay. So, let C be any simple closed curve contained in this neighborhood of Z naught, then by Cauchy integral theorem the integral of each function taken around C vanishes, hence the integral of the sum function around C is 0. Since the sum function is continuous, it follows by Morera's theorem. In the Morera's theorem we have said that if the function f z is continuous in a domain D and integral over C f z dz equal to 0 around any simple closed curve which lies completely inside D, then the function f z is analytic in D. So, since the sum function is continuous, it follows by Morera's theorem that it is analytic in this neighborhood of Z naught, and now Z naught is any point in R. So, the theorem holds. The next theorem is the derivative of the sum function of a uniformly convergent series of analytic functions can be found at any interior point of the region of uniform convergence by term differentiation of the series. So, let us prove this result. Let Z be any point in the region D of uniform convergence of the series. Let us take a region domain D, okay, and let us take any point Z which lies in D. So, let Z be any point in the region D of uniform convergence of the series sigma f n z. F z is the sum of the series. The terms of the series are analytic functions in D. So, f n z is analytic for every n in D, and let C be any simple closed curve in D which encloses Z. Okay. So, take any simple closed curve in D which encloses Z and lying together with its interior entirely within the region D, and let zeta be a general point on C. Okay. So, let us take any point zeta on C, then f zeta will be equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f n zeta. Since the function 1 over 2 pi I into zeta minus z whole square is bounded on C. Now, how it is bounded? You can see zeta lies on the curve C, z is a point in the interior of C. Okay. So, 1 over zeta minus z whole square, 1 over zeta minus z whole square is an analytic function on C. Okay. So, therefore, it is continuous. Okay. So, 1 over zeta minus z is continuous on C, and which implies that 1 over 2 pi I zeta minus z whole square is continuous on C, and so it is bounded on C because C is a simple closed curve. So, it is bounded on C, and therefore, now let us apply the theorem 1, okay. This theorem, if a series converges uniformly in a region R of the Z plane and phi z is any bounded function in R by which the terms of the series are multiplied, then the resulting series also converges uniformly. So, this series which converges uniformly to f z, if we multiply this series by a bounded function, then the resulting series will also converge uniformly. So, we are multiplying this series by the bounded function 1 over 2 pi I zeta minus z whole square, and then the resulting series will also converge uniformly to f zeta over zeta minus z whole square into 2 pi I. So, sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f n zeta over this series, let us, we are multiplying to this series, okay. This series we are multiplying by 1 over 2 pi I into zeta minus z whole square. So, we get this, okay, by theorem 1, and this series converges uniformly to this function. Now, by theorem 3, this series, now this series converges uniformly to this, and therefore, we can integrate this series term by term around the simple closed curve C which lies entirely inside D, okay, around this simple closed curve C, and after we integrate around the curve C, what we get is 1 over 2 pi I integral over C f zeta d zeta over zeta minus z whole square equal to 1 over 2 pi I in sigma n equal to 1 to infinity integral over C f n zeta over zeta minus z whole square d zeta. Now, let us apply the Cauchy integral formula for higher derivatives. Okay. From that, it follows that the left hand side is f prime z, right hand side is sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f n prime z. Okay. So, f prime z is equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f n prime z by the Cauchy integral formula for derivatives of z, and thus we can see that the series can be differentiated term by term. Now, sufficient condition for the uniform convergence of a series, like we have a uniform like we have a Weierstrass M test for series of real functions. Here also we have the Weierstrass M test. So, if mod of f and z, if you take the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity mod f and z, series of complex functions of z, then if mod of f and z is less than or equal to m n for all n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, where m n is independent of z in a region R, and sigma n equal to 1 to infinity m n is convergent, then sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f and z converges uniformly in R. So, we have this result, and we can easily prove this, like we prove in the case of series of real functions. So, here we have mod of R and z equal to R and z, let us recall it is the remainder after n terms of the series. So, mod of R and z is mod of f n plus 1 z, f n plus 2 z and so on, and this is less than or equal to mod of f n plus 1 z, mod of f n plus 2 z and so on, which is less than or equal to m n plus 1, m n plus 2 and so on. Now, since the series sigma m equal to 1 to infinity m n is convergent, okay, m n plus 1, m n plus 2 and so on can be made less than epsilon. Okay. Suppose you can say that the sum of the series, say S is equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity m n, then we know that for a given epsilon greater than 0, we can find an integer n naught depending on epsilon such that S minus S n, okay, mod of S minus S n is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n naught. So, this is, we can say, mod of sigma n equal to 1 to infinity m n minus sigma m equal to 1 to n S m, okay, less than epsilon. So, we are subtracting from sigma n equal to 1 to infinity m n the sum of first n terms of the series. Okay. So, this is nothing but mod of m n plus 1 plus m n plus 2 and so on. Since m n plus 1, m n plus 2 are all positive, we can write m n plus 1 plus m n plus 2 and so on. So, this is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n naught epsilon. Okay. So, since the series sigma m n is convergent, m n plus 1, m n plus 2 can be made less than epsilon for by choosing n to be greater than or equal to n naught, the choice of n naught. Now, this n naught does not depend on any z, okay, it depends only on epsilon. Okay. Because it has come from the series of constants. So, this series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity f and z converges uniformly in R. Now, let us consider the geometric series 1 plus z square plus z cube and so on. Let us show that it converges uniformly to 1 over 1 minus z for 0 less than or equal to mod z less than or equal to rho less than 1, but not for mod z less than 1. Let us consider the nth partial sum of this series S n z equal to 1 plus z square and so on z to the power n minus 1. This we know it is a geometric series. So, we can write its sum 1 minus z to the power n divided by 1 minus z. Okay. Now, if mod of z is less than 1, okay, then limit n tends to infinity z to the power n is equal to 0. Hence, limit n tends to infinity S n z is equal to 1 over 1 minus z if mod of z is less than 1. So, the series converges pointwise. Okay. Hence, the series converges pointwise in the disk mod z less than 1. Okay. It does not converge uniformly in mod z less than 1. How? it does not converge this is because R and Z. Okay, let us look at R and Z. R and Z is equal to 1 over 1 minus Z f z minus the sum of the first n terms. So, 1 minus z to the power n over 1 minus z, and this is equal to z to the power n over 1 minus z. Okay. So, R and Z is the remainder after the n terms of the series. Okay. So, this is z to the power n over 1 minus z. Now, let us see if you take real z to be real. Okay. Let us if we take z to be real, say z equal to x, okay, and x is sufficiently close to 1. Sufficiently close to 1, then what do we notice? Then we notice that R and Z becomes unbounded. What I am saying is that R and Z is equal to z to the power n over 1 minus z. Let us take z to be equal to x, okay, z to be equal to x, and say x is very near to 1, okay, x is very near to 1. So, when it is z is equal to x, we will have x to the power n over 1 minus x, and when x is very near to 1, what will happen? R and x will tend to infinity. Okay. So, R and x will become unbounded, and therefore, we can say that we cannot find any n naught, we cannot find any n naught independent of z such that mod of R and Z is less than epsilon, okay, for all n greater than or equal to n naught, okay, and so the series does not converge uniformly in mod z less than 1. Now, however, if we take mod z less than or equal to rho, okay, mod z less than or equal to rho, where rho is less than 1, then what we notice is that then mod of z to the power n is less than or equal to rho to the power n. Okay. So, what will happen here, the n plus 1th term you can see in the series, n plus 1th term is z to the power n. So, I am considering n plus 1th term. So, n plus 1th term, the modulus of the n plus 1th term is mod of z to the power n, which is less than or equal to rho to the power n, and we know that the series sigma rho to the power n equal to 1 to infinity is a convergent series. This is the convergent series. This we can prove by applying the ratio test or the root test. If you apply the root test, then mod of rho to the power n raised to the power 1 by n limit n tends to infinity is equal to rho, okay, and rho is less than 1. So, the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity rho to the power n is a convergent series. Therefore, by Weierstrass M test we can say that the series 1 plus z square and so on converges uniformly in the region 0 less than or equal to mod z less than or equal to rho, okay, but not in mod z less than 1. So, this series converges uniformly, this series converges pointwise in mod z less than 1, but not uniformly in mod z less than 1. Let us take another example. Suppose we take the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity z to the power n minus z to the power n plus 1. Here let us find the nth partial sum. So, S n z is equal to z minus z square minus z cube and so on z to the power n minus z to the power n plus 1, and you can see these terms go on cancelling, okay, and what we get is Sn z is equal to z minus z to the power n plus 1. Now, if mod of z is less than 1, okay, then limit n tends to infinity, z to the power n plus 1 goes to 0. Okay. Hence, limit n tends to infinity, Sn z is equal to z if mod z is less than 1. Okay. Now, let us notice the following. If you find Sn z for z equal to 1, Sn z when z is equal to 1, we have Sn z equal to 1 minus 1. Okay. So, we get 0. Okay. So, Sn z equal to 0 for all values of n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, and therefore, limit n tends to infinity, Sn z is equal to 0 when z is equal to 1. Okay. So, what do we notice? If we denote by Sz the limit of Sn z, as n goes to infinity, then we see that Sz is equal to z when mod of z is less than 1. Okay. And Sz is equal to when we take z equal to 1, Sz is equal to 0 when z is equal to 1. Okay. So, so you can see from here that Sz is discontinuous at z equal to 1, because limit z tends to 1. Okay. Sz is equal to 1. Okay. We notice that this is not equal to S1. Okay. S1 is equal to 0 and limit z tends to 1, Sz is equal to z in every neighborhood of z equal to 1. Okay. So, this is equal to 1. So, this is 1 not equal to 0. Okay. And hence, Sz is discontinuous at z equal to 1. Now, from here we can say the given series consists of continuous functions, okay, at z equal to 1. They are all continuous functions at z equal to 1, but the sum function of the series is discontinuous at z equal to 1, and therefore, we can say that the 1 is the point of non-uniform convergence of the series, that is, the series does not converge uniformly in a neighborhood of z equal to 1. Okay. So, since the sum function is discontinuous, sum function of the given series of continuous functions is discontinuous at z equal to 1, we can conclude that the given series does not converge uniformly in any neighborhood of z equal to 1. Okay. So, this series does not converge uniformly in mod z less than 1. Okay. Now, let us consider the series sigma n equal to 1. Now, here again we can conclude that if instead of mod z less than 1 we consider this region. Okay. if we consider 0 less than or equal to mod z less than or equal to rho, where rho is the 1, rho is less than 1, then this series converges uniformly, because why? Because mod of z to the power n, let us take the nth term, z to the power n plus 1 is equal to mod of z to the power n into mod of 1 minus z. Okay. So, this is equal to mod of z is less than or equal to rho. So, this is less than or equal to mod z to the power n into 1 plus mod of z, which is equal to less than or equal to rho to the power n into 1 plus rho. Okay. So, now this is, let us take Mn. Okay. Now, consider the series sigma Mn. So, the series sigma Mn is sigma n equal to 1 to infinity rho to the power n into 1 plus rho. Okay. If we apply the ratio test here, then rho to the power n plus 1 into 1 plus rho divided by rho to the power n 1 plus rho, limit rho n goes to infinity. This will cancel with this and we will get the limit as rho. Now, this rho is less than 1. So, the series sigma Mn converges uniformly. Okay. The series sigma Mn converges and is convergent, and therefore, the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity z to the power n minus z to the power n plus 1 converges uniformly in the region 0 less than or equal to mod z less than or equal to rho, okay, and where rho is less than 1. So, we can apply this Weierstrass test here to prove the uniform convergence. Now, let us consider the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity sin n mod of z over n square. Okay. So, we notice that here f n z is equal to sin n mod of z divided by n square. Okay. So, mod of f n z is equal to mod of sin n mod of z over n square. Okay. Now, z is a complex number and mod of z is a real quantity. So, this is a real function, sin n times mod of z is a real function, and we know that mod of sin theta is less than or equal to 1 when theta is real. So, this is less than or equal to 1 by n square for all z belonging to C and n belonging to the set of natural numbers n. Okay. And so, by Weierstrass test, the given series converges uniformly in the whole complex plane because the series sigma 1 by n square is convergent. Is a convergent series. So, we can apply the Weierstrass test to decide about the uniform convergence of this series. So, we have proved the uniform convergence of the series sigma n equal to 1 to infinity sin n mod of z over n square by applying the Weierstrass test. In our next lecture, we shall discuss the power series. You have heard of power series for in real calculus. We have a power series here in complex also. So, we shall discuss that in our next lecture. Thank you very much for your attention.